Hi, Shiniru X3 asks,
can you do a video on different Korean diet trends and different kinds of diets?
ooh, hot topic.
Very difficult to discuss.
Not actually that difficult.
Actually
Difficult
not
because there's
difficult at all.
so much to talk
It's
about.
a very sensitive topic, but it's one that we're actually quite passionate about.
Is it sensitive? I just thought there were so many diet trends in Korea, it would be 4 hours of us talking.
Well, I think it's sensitive because we feel very strongly about how the K-pop industry really forces a lot of the female artists to go through very painful and almost abusive diets.
Yeah, one thing I'll say before we start talking about this is that no matter where you are in the world, it seems like any industry you're part of, like if you're a model or actor, singer, who's in like the spotlight, I feel like they all go through a lot of pressure about how they look.
Right.
And Korea is no exception to that. So even though people say things like, oh, people in Korea are so skinny, why do they need to diet? Korea has its own version of what they think is beautiful and thin. So from your perspective, you might say they're already thin, but within the Korean world, they have a different pressure about what they think is thin.
And as a result, some people in the industry, which are trying to lose some more weight, do some really bizarre diets that aren't necessarily based off of exercise, but more based off of starving themselves.
Yeah, that seems like the general gist of most of the diets.
For example, Shiny had a diet a while ago in which it couldn't eat after 7 p.m., which for me doesn't make any sense at all.
Doesn't make any sense if you're also so active. Like when you're a K-pop star, it's not like you're sitting around playing video games all day, but you're dancing. You're burning up a lot of energy. That means you're making muscle. That means your body's exhausted. They're going from show to show to show. You need energy. I heard the same thing about Girls' Generation actually, and I was really upset when this happened because my friend was teaching at a middle school and she watched this video on the daily life of Girls' Generation, and it showed like this is how we train, like our dance room and like traveling between places. And they said on the video, we only eat breakfast and lunch, and they said we skip dinner. And she was so shocked. She's like, I can't show this to my students.
Right.
Because like the students are at the school until like 10 p.m., you know, and then they go to like Hogwarts till midnight. Imagine telling a student, if you want to look at Girls' Generation, just don't eat dinner.
That's a terrible example to set.
Anyway, so she totally refused to show this video to her classroom, and I'm really proud of her for doing that.
But on the topic of Korean diets, we're going to tell you some of the more bizarre and more interesting diet trends that we've noticed here in Korea.
I know one of the biggest diet trends that occurs in Korea, and this is like not a monthly or yearly thing, it's happened since we've been here, is the sweet potato trend. So when I was teaching, I remember my coworkers saying like, I'm going on a diet, and they would have these steamed sweet potatoes that
which
they
are
eat.
delicious.
Super delicious, and Korea does a kick-arse job of making them in like these little tin drums on the street, and they heat them up, and it gets all caramelized, and I eat like 4 of them!
And thus you break the diet!
Thus you break the diet, so you're supposed
I don't understand why I'm not listening. The biggest diet trend in Korea at the moment is the basil seed diet, because supposedly a basil seed is very small. When you eat it, it expands to something like 30 times its normal size, and as a result, you feel fuller, so you're not hungry throughout the rest of the day.
When I heard this, the first thing I thought of was chia seeds, because I actually make chia seed pudding at home.
We have chia seeds in our power balls at the coffee shop.
So when they get wet or when they get soaked, they get like sticky and gelatinous. So the idea is that people are drinking basil seed tea, where they just add like a couple spoonfuls, mix it with water, and then they drink it so that it expands, makes you feel like you're not hungry. The problem is, not feeling hungry is great and all, but you're still not getting the nutrition you need for the day. If you eat 3 cups of basil seed, where's all the rest of your vitamins and minerals coming from?
The basil seed trend has become so popular. I actually remember seeing the other day a basil seed face cream now.
Right.
They're like, oh yeah, it's a popular diet trend. Why not put that shit on your face as well?
What? Why?
Another popular one, I think Tiara's Hyomin did it.
For her nice body promotion.
That's right. She did the lemon detox, which I think was trendy in California as well, which I'm pretty sure is just like squeeze of lemon in hot water with like cayenne pepper and like some kind of syrup.
A little bit of syrup.
Neon syrup or something. I don't even know what that is. She drank that and it's supposed to help you detox and lose weight, but I don't know if it's working.
Where's the food part of your diet?
I don't know.
Next one on the list is actually a really terrible diet. It's a trend that's happening lately. It's called the Gaeborin diet, and Gaeborin is basically like Tylenol or acetaminophen. And what happens with this diet is that you take 5 to 8 pills of Tylenol a day, and that makes you throw up and shit everything out. So then you're just basically making yourself extremely sick so that you can't absorb any nutrients whatsoever, and hence you lose weight.
Yeah, now that's been happening amongst high school students. So supposedly there's been a lot of reports in the hospitals of people like being sent to the hospital because of it, and it's really dangerous. I think it's similar in North America. There was like a laxative trend at one point, but that's not a good way to lose weight, guys. Like, just please don't ever do that, okay? One of the better diet trends, which I feel like I can prove more of, is the witch's soup.
The manyo soup.
This is a soup that was actually originally prescribed for heart patients and other people under surgery to lose weight rapidly before surgery. And when I saw the ingredients for it, I was like, I totally know this because my mom, when she went for surgery, actually had this soup. And I distinctly remember tasting it at home and being like, it tastes very tomatoey.
In fact, I'll read you the recipe. Celery, onions, bell peppers, cabbage, boiled tomatoes, chicken stock, curry powder, pepper, and carrots.
And the reason it's called witch's soup is because you put it in a huge pot and you just like stir it and then you cackle over it like
Doesn't taste the same if you don't make those sounds.
I'm pretty sure that's what it would just sound like, doesn't it?
This is the one that I'm actually happiest about, even though I like some more diversity in your diet. This at least has some nutritional value, while the rest of the diet trends aren't really nutritionally balanced.
I would say besides all the trends that we see happening in Korea, there's also like diet waters and like diet teas and like diet sticks and
S-line waters you drink is supposed to give you an S-line, which is just water.
It's just water with like something in it. And
the idea is that people are still maintaining their crazy hectic schedules, but they're just deciding to eat poorer as a result in hopes of losing weight.
Yeah, so I don't really agree on that kind of concept of how to lose weight. I don't think it's healthy for you.
It's not a lifestyle change, it's more just like a temporary diet fix.
Yeah, and the other problem that I think is that when we've been behind the scenes for K-pop videos, I've never seen a healthy table laid out.
Yes!
Right? I would expect catering with like, they only eat salad, maybe chicken breast.
Here's some boiled chicken breast, here's some salad,
right.
Here's some nuts. Instead, there's like a whole bunch of choco pies and like garbage for them to eat that from the convenience store.
Yeah, so we really want to see a change in the industry. We want to see more of a focus on exercise and healthy food balance rather than just like no exercise and no food and just eat this apple.
I'd like for the K-pop headlines to be more about the quality of the music that they're doing rather than the diets and the way their bodies have changed.
I'm pretty sure I read like 15 articles about Sistar's diet and how much weight they
on.
lost.
How about how awesome their song is or how cool their video is, not about how much they've lost weight. So we're going to talk about some more K-pop idols diet trends in our blog post, so make sure you click on the link here if you want to read more about it.
I'm a penguin. This comes up for a reason.
Really? We're not making this up.
Check out the blog post, guys. So we want to know what kind of crazy diet trends are happening in your country right now and what do you think about them? Let us know in the comment section below.
2 weeks ago, I did my TLDR, my favorite video games of all time, and I feel really bad because I forgot to mention in the video Kingdom Hearts, which was so important to me. I mentioned in the blog post, but the video definitely deserved the shout out for Kingdom Hearts because I really grew up with that. It's really special, except for Kingdom Hearts 2. What the hell was that about? I have no idea. Also, I mentioned that I'm starting to get into Zelda Wind Waker. I finally started playing it, but I think I might have named my character incorrectly. The dialogue is really abusive, I found in the Wind Waker. I'm not sure.
Are you going to tell them what you named your character?
You'll have to find out in the blog post, so make sure you click that because I'll share some pictures with you.
Oh boy.